Hey guys, what is up, and I welcome you to another League of Legends video. In this video, I want to talk about a very interesting tip for Yasuo. I like to call this tip the cheese strat, which more or less just means you're doing something really annoying and somewhat strong, but is also very risky. This is the strat that you do at level 1 that I want to be showing you several examples of, and you simply just spam your E in a very specific correct way. And if you do it right, then this strat will work and it will most likely give you a huge win and lead in your lane for the rest of the game. So right now you see me doing it on Ahri, and what you want to do is you want to build up some stacks of your E. Now I do this in somewhat of a specific way. I usually begin to use 2 E's on 2 melee minions. Then I use 1 on the range, I auto attack the enemy champion, use another E with a fully stacked E to do more damage to gap close once again, making sure I don't go under tower, auto attack for some more harass, and then retreat with an E on a ranged minion I have not yet used it on. So this strat can either work really well and give you a huge lead, or you can mess up, fail, and then probably fall behind. But like I said, it is very risky, especially if you're doing this against an opponent that is minimum equal skill level to yourself. And for a couple of the examples, I will show you guys what I do when I come back into lane after getting the kill and getting the advantage. Because let's be honest, what good is an advantage if you don't know how to use it? So when you come back into lane, you can see that I am obviously just doing everything I can against the Ahri. I spam my E a few times onto the minions, get it stacked up, CS while it's under the tower, and then once I feel ready, once I have the 4 stacks, I simply use it on the minions. And you want to make sure that you use the E on the champion last. This is because you want to use the minions to gap close with, of course, your E, do as much damage with your auto attacks, and then use your E once more, not only for the big damage with the 4 stacks, but also to gap close once again because they're of course running away, and then you just simply go in for the kill if you can, or just go back and farm and continue the pressure. So you just saw me abuse that against the Ahri, but let's look at some more examples. So this works very well on people like Syndra. So the Syndra is trying to play aggressive on me, she misses the Q, and she is way too close to the minions here, so I actually use the E on her, which I probably should have used on the minions. However, I use it on her because I'm not really looking for the kill here just yet. I'm looking to put on the damage to set it up for when I do go for the kill, for when my E is fully stacked. And that's what I did. I stacked it up, used the E on the minion, you see right there, gap close with the ranged one, auto attack, and then E on her as well, and put on some serious damage. Now I always have a ranged minion that I can still use my E on, and that's exactly what I do there. I gap close once again, seeing that she's overextending way too much for her HP. Use it on a minion, gap close, auto attack, and worst comes to worst, I could have used the E on her once again if she somehow got away. The damage Yasuo's E at 4 stacks can do at level 1 is ridiculously high, which is why this is such an important strat to learn for Yasuo players. And now that you have the advantage in the lane, when you go back to base, you buy an item or two, go back into lane, you really have to abuse it. So you simply just start stacking up the E just like you did at level 1, get some Q stacked as well for the knockup, and then once they overextend a little bit, and even if they don't, you can simply gap close no problem by using it on a melee minion, then a range, and then for example, use the E on them as well if you have to gap close again, or knock up with the Q, and then auto attack, and then follow up with another E, and just continue the pressure. And if they're out of range, even if you use the E twice on the minions like that, then you're just simply zoning them from experience and CS. Let's take a look at one more example. This one is against Lissandra, probably the worst matchup for any assassin. And the reason for that is plain and simple, she has a lot of CC. So more or less I begin it in the same fashion. I use the E twice on 2 melee minions, use it on that one right there because it was right beside the ranged ones, use it on another ranged one, it's at 4 stacks, auto attack, E on her, auto attack, and then retreat very quickly before she can retaliate on the other ranged minions where I have not used the E yet. And from this, usually I'll still have 1 melee minion and I'll still have 1 ranged minion after I'm done all the harass, which is what you use to go back right on top of them. And that's exactly what I did. I went right back in, not giving her any chance to try and relax and get control of the lane. Even though I did die this time, I did get the kill first, which means I get the experience. Continuing on this pressure against someone like Lissandra is a lot harder than almost any other mid laner, other than maybe Orianna. But I still try to make the best of it. So that's more or less what I want to talk to you guys about. The cheese strat, definitely try it out. I highly recommend it. Start with E, but you still want to max Q. And just simply abuse it in the lane. The second the minions meet, use it on 2 melee minions, use it on 1 ranged one, auto attack the champion, use the E, making sure you don't go in tower range, damage them some more, and then use the retreat on the other ranged caster minions you have not yet used it on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tip. Definitely try it out in your next game with Yasuo. It's really great, but it's also very difficult and extremely risky. If you guys have any questions, definitely write them in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!